guys. This is Mark.
This is Michelle, and you're watching This is Mark and Michelle.
Yes, this is episode 40-something. We
Probably
don't know exactly.
42. We haven't done one for a while.
That's what popped into my head.
Cool. So maybe that's right.
Maybe that's right. We're going to go by our intuition. Anyway, it's been a while since you've seen us, so we thought we'd spend a few minutes talking about what's been happening in the interim.
Yes.
All right.
Well, it started with we were detoxing way too intensely.
Yes, we've gotten to the point to where, at least Michelle has, any fruit is detoxing for her. And what that meant was, as you probably saw in the last few lives that we did, she was having detox around her nose and her mouth. And that was a problem for her. And so she had to find a way to slow it down because potatoes weren't doing it. Cooked food, medical media says that cooked food and potatoes and things like that will slow it down. Well, it wasn't slow enough.
I actually had to start eating fish
and
not eating any fruit. We're about to lose our screen.
Yeah, our street in Cuba is going to fall over here. There's really buildings back there. They're just made out of cardboard. Stop that. Here, I want to do this. I'll lean against it.
Okay.
So, but anyway, so she had to start eating fish.
I did, and I don't eat it every day. Usually every other day.
Yeah, maybe 3-4 times a week.
And so I had gotten so bad that my insides felt like fingernails down a chalkboard.
With just the fruit, yeah.
Yeah. And I couldn't even think about helping people.
Right.
I couldn't.
And that's where we had both gotten to. I'm gonna knock it over now.
There's a hurricane in Cuba.
There is. And our little street in Cuba, in Oklahoma City. But we had gotten to the point to where we were just on edge because of all the detox. And
really on edge.
Right. Well, and what we were talking about this tonight, sitting out in the deck, and we realized that the emotional panics that I had and that kind of stuff were detox.
Yeah, we were having lots of emotional
clearing
detox.
out the liver, and she was talking to her intuition last night, and she asked it, what's the deal? Why don't I know what to eat now? And basically it told her, you were just detoxing so much. Now your liver is healed up enough so that you can go back to maybe eating a little bit of fat and a little bit of protein and this kind of stuff, which she's done.
Unfortunately, I've gained some weight, but I have hope.
Yes. Well, and that's what keeps us going and keeps you guys going. That's what we all need is hope that things will change. And you know what? Things change. And sometimes you think things are changing in a negative way, and then later on you find out, oh, I needed that.
Yeah. And
it was a positive thing. And so that's what we've been dealing with the past few months. And my brain has gotten much better the past.
Right. So Mark was thinking that he had regressed, but it was actually so much emotion came on so fast that it was irritating and
overwhelming.
And so he was grumpy and
irritated. See,
brusque.
And so you guys remember we talked about the CBD oil that we got for me and for her to handle what I thought was PTSD. And I thought, well, maybe it's, and then recently I was reading about generalized anxiety disorder, and I thought, okay, well, maybe that's what it is. Well, now I don't even need the CBD oil. I don't even use it. I mean, if I do, I use it maybe once every 2 weeks. And so 2 days ago would have been Thursday. Yeah. 2 days ago would have been Thursday, and a friend of ours named Susan, she has always been a great meditator. She does, I think, transcendental meditation and Kundalini meditation or Kundalini yoga. And so I've been talking to her on and off the past few months about meditation. And so on Thursday morning, I was still working through some of the irritability and that type of thing. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to try meditation, see what it does. So I did. I spent about 17 minutes meditating. and I wound up dozing off for a little bit, even though it wasn't actually sleep. And once I came out of that, I had a nice core right about here of peace and calm that lasted for about 4.5 to 5 hours. And
that's amazing for the first
you know,
time.
that was from 1:20 till about 1:37. So I meditated for 17 minutes. And that lasted from then until about 7 p.m. that night. And mind you, hey viewer, and mind you, it didn't totally go away, and I didn't become chaos again at 7 o'clock later that night. But that core of peace lasted solidly for that long, and then hung on well until I got home that night after 10 o'clock. So I have found meditation to actually take the place of the CBD oil now. And all the healing that I seem to have done in the past 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, has really changed me.
He's become an amazing conversationalist. I find myself being really disappointed that I work opposite schedules soon. Because we've had such great conversation.
We don't get to talk.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 weeks. It's been really good conversation.
And
deep, real meaningful, spiritual.
Well, because we really needed to get at the core of issues. And you guys have, if you followed us since when was it? When did we start doing these lives? March of last year?
Last year, maybe?
We've been doing a little over a year now. And if you guys have followed us, you've seen us get healthier. But you've also seen us grow. And at the same time, you have grown with us. And so, I see another viewer's on. Hey, other viewer. You guys comment here so we know who you are and we can say hi specifically. But anyway, so you've seen us grow, you've grown. And we just had to take a break. And again, we may not be on regularly, consistently.
Well, we've talked about how we feel limited by Heal Your Autism because there are so many more aspects to us, specifically relationships. And
right.
So we're talking about making a new page. We will still be here and help you. But we'd love for you to join us on our new page, which we have not made yet.
We have not made yet, but we have decided on what we're going to call it and what we're going to focus on. It will be called This is Mark and Michelle. And while we're going to focus on many more subjects other than Heal Your Autism or Healing Your Autism, diet, that type of thing, we really feel we have a gift in helping people in relationships with autism, whether that's being married, boyfriend or girlfriend, parents with autistic kid, NT kids and NT parents with an autistic parent, what have you. We really feel that our gift lies in helping people change their lives living with their autistic loved ones.
And we also want to add our spiritual side.
Yes, agreed. Because I'm going to be honest, what you fix in here, what you fix on the inside, changes the outside. It does. In a relationship, and this is just for those of you, some of you may have heard this, but some of you may have not. Hey, there's a third viewer. But in any relationship, you know that you find after so much time when you are dealing with a relationship issue, you can't force the other. Hey, Melanie. You can't force someone else to change. The only person that you can really change is you. But when you change yourself, the other person automatically has to change because you're not responding in the way that they're used to. And do we have experience with that? Oh my God, we've got experience with that. Because anytime I've changed, she's had to change. And anytime she's changed, I had to find a new way to respond. Because when you respond differently, your loved one responds differently as well.
Hi,
Amy! Melody! And thanks for being here, you guys. But that is the basic core, is as you change you, everything else in your world changes as well, because it has to. It can no longer respond. The people in your life can no longer respond the way they did. And we know that that's the case because it's been the case with us.
Yep.
And as much change as we've undergone in the past, it'll be 6 years here pretty soon. In July, it'll be 6 years, starting on.
I wouldn't even know how to react to the person I was 6 years ago.
I can't even remember the person she was 6 years ago or the person I was 6 years ago. You know, I just know I was autistic and I remember lots of memories from that life. But now we're both so different.
Oh my goodness, Mark will say, "Oh, I've never heard you say that before."
Right.
About things that happened in my past. I said, "You weren't interested before." And he swears that he was. I said, "Mark, you don't even remember who you were anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You are so beyond that autistic person. You don't know that how uninterested in me you were."
Right. Well, you know, and what it was is, in fact, that's something she said, I think earlier in the week. And what it was is I realized that, see, as an autistic person, I was interested in facts and information. Mm-hmm. What I'm interested in now is not the facts and the information. I'm interested in the emotions and
stories.
The stories and the feelings and the relationships that she had previously. And so now it's all new to me because it's all social stuff. And so that's why I go, I've never heard you say that before. Yeah. She's probably said it before.
Or I didn't bring it up because nothing ever triggered that kind of conversation before.
Well, exactly. Well, and being an autistic person, I wasn't social anyway, and I wasn't looking for the emotions, you know.
It was a simple story about talking about my dad and I going fishing, which we did very rarely. My dad could fillet the fish, and when he'd get a female with eggs, he would get excited, and my mom would cook them for him, and he loved them.
Mm-hmm.
And Mark said, "I've never heard you tell me that before."
Yeah, I've never heard that story before.
Why would I have told him before? Because there were no social.
Well, there was.
reasons.
What was interesting about the story is they ate fish eggs. I'm like, ew, because we were watching some. I think it was it was Jacques Pepin, and he was putting trout caviar on a trout on a dish of trout, and I'm just like, man, I ain't getting that. I'm sorry, I'm just not. And then she talked about her dad.
He called it roe.
Yeah, being excited about the roe. Well, that's the other word instead of caviar.
Yeah.
Caviar is the delusional word for fish eggs. And but anyway, so she talked about that. I'm like, wow, I never heard that story before, you know, and I hadn't heard that story before. But what was interesting is he was excited about it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
real excited about eating those fish eggs.
We were talking about a poor boy Baptist minister's son from Missouri. Okay.
With 12 siblings.
Well, exactly. So, you know.
So that would be like a delicacy.
That probably would be. And he probably felt rich.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know, an innocuous story. But I'm like, man, I never heard that.
Yeah.
You know. So, but it was the excitement. Yeah. See, I was interested in the excitement. He was excited over that? Ew. It wasn't the fish eggs. Who cares? It was the excitement over the fish eggs. As an autistic person, like, oh, fish eggs, cool.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's as far as it went.
But what was striking is he didn't remember how how detached he was before.
Well, true. You know, and now it's all emotion. I mean, it really is, you know. And it's an interesting life because it can be a roller coaster ride every day if you let it. But what I'm finding is I don't want it to be a roller coaster ride every day.
Yeah, that's what the meditation is for.
Right. And so the meditation has really helped in eliminating the CBD oil, but even more importantly, eliminating all the stress and the traumas and everything else. Our friend Susan sent me a quote from a book called Meditation is Medicine. And it has been, that quote was excellent because it talks about all the physiological and neurological changes that happen when you meditate. and it's very specific as far as brain areas go and that kind of thing. And that's right down my alley.
Yeah, but I don't see an Aspie being able to do that very well.
No, because when I was autistic, I couldn't focus well enough to do that. I couldn't keep my mind quiet long enough to do that. I just couldn't.
So what's the difference now?
The difference now is that and I think I'm using this term correctly, I have body consciousness now.
That's a heavy thing right there. That's a whole show. We need to write that down.
Okay, somewhere. Anyway.
Someone write that down for us.
Yes.
Hi, Melissa.
Hey, Melissa, how are you? And but body consciousness.
Here we go.
Okay, that's a big deal because when I was autistic, I just did not feel like I was in my body. I didn't feel connected to it at all, and I am gradually starting to feel like I am in this skin, and I'm starting.
But we want to be able to talk about other reasons why he's starting to feel like he's in his skin, like all the energy medicine that we've done.
Right, and we think the energy medicine has been so life-changing for us that we feel like we're doing ourselves and you guys a disservice by not talking about it, right? And Heal Your Autism, we found as a subject is just limited, and a lot of people would like to heal their kids, and that's great, and we can help you with that. But until you can, there's going to be this whole life of relating to autism that we are experts at. And we want to be able to help you guys relate to your autistic loved one until you don't have to. And then we want to be able to help you relate to your new NT loved one.
And we want to help your NT become safely become an NT with the emotions coming on.
Exactly.
That's where the energy medicine is going to help.
Absolutely. Because because even with your kids, you're going to have to, and any of you folks who decide that you're, as an adult, you want to heal from your autism, we can help you negotiate that minefield, because it is a minefield. It is, and it is a dangerous minefield.
And if you're this old, you wake up to traumas that had emotion that you didn't know existed. So none of them have been dealt with.
Exactly. And you got traumatized and you didn't even know it. And so we're here for that. We're here from, you might say it, from cradle to grave if necessary, because we can do it. So, I mean, I don't know what it's like to be dead yet, but, you know.
Well, maybe you do. Which life is this that you're on?
I don't know. I mean, what, 5,009th? I mean, maybe it's my 5,009th life. But if that's the case, maybe I do. I just don't remember being dead. So anyway, but that's the thing. That's why hey, Teresa.
Hi, Teresa.
And thanks all you guys for joining us. But that's for those of you who just joined, we will be starting a new page called This is Mark and Michelle, where we actually talk about relating to your autistic loved ones in any relationship. And we're going to focus on that instead of the limited healing your autism. Because while we have expertise in that, more so than most people, we also have a huge expertise in relating to autism. And we want to be able to help you through that until you get to the point to where you're not in the autism anymore, and then be able to help you right on your way out of that as well.
This morning you were talking about something. You were sitting on the bed and you were giving the list of things that we would be able to help with.
Well, the list I was giving is all the things that we have gone through.
Let's talk about it.
Okay. So, say you have a friend and you've just told them about us, and they need coaching in their life on pretty much any subject relating to relationships and autism or recovering from it, whatever. And then this friend of yours says, well, why would I need them for coaching. And here's what you say, because this is what I'm going to say. If you want to spend 5.5 years in recovery and well over 1.5 years in detoxing from heavy metals and any other pesticides, insecticides, or toxic chemicals that are in your system, if you want to spend the 5.5 years recovering your health and detoxifying, and then you want to spend another 19 years learning how to talk through and getting through to an autistic person and learning the communication skills necessary for that, and then working on all the traumas caused by autism in everyone in that relationship.
Using
energy medicine like we did, and then sitting down and spending hours and hours and hours, maybe a couple of years total, of talking it out, then you don't need us.
Right.
Right? But if you're not willing to spend 5.5 years in recovering your health, 1.5 years detoxifying, maybe a couple of years total talking all this out, then working on all the traumas caused by the autism, whether your own traumas as an autistic person or the traumas that you may have caused in others, and then you don't want to learn all the communication skills necessary, then you need us. Because we have all of that under our belts.
We muddled our way through, made many mistakes.
Yep. In fact, one of my favorite entrepreneurial authors, a guy named Russell Brunson, says, I'm here to keep you from the trial and error.
Yep.
And that's what we're here for. We're here to keep you from the trial and error. So if any friend of yours that you're telling them about us says, well, why would I need somebody like that? All you have to do is say, to keep you from the years and years and years of trial and error that you would have to go through if you didn't have them. Guaranteed. That's what we're here to do.
Preach it, Mark.
I will. Just give you a tiny little suit and a tiny little autism Bible, and I'll do it. So, but anyway, what else do we want to talk about?
That's it.
Okay. Anyway.
Look for our page. We will post it. But I am like crazy at school right now.
Well, when the summer comes along, she's going to be more busy on that, and so will I.
Yeah. So we'll be here in and out. Not mostly out.
True. Mostly out.
Until school's out.
But when school's out, we'll be on this. And we may not be super consistent, but that's okay. Because as the Spirit moves us, then we'll move you.
Yeah.
Well, should we leave it at that?
That's it.
All right, guys. Thanks for being here.
Good to see you. Thanks, everybody.
Uh-huh.
It's good to see you all.